Who knows what Christmas is all about?
What exactly are we celebrating on Christmas? Have you ever wondered about this holiday or posed this question to yourself? In this video, we're going to explore what really occurs on Christmas, taking a truthful look at the holiday's origins, as well as our modern-day practices surrounding this festive event. So sit back, grab your eggnog, and warm up to the fireside, or space heater, as it were. As a very young child, I remember being told that Christmas was a holiday which came around each winter, and that this jolly, plump old guy named Santa would bring me presents, assuming I was relatively well behaved throughout the year. Santa was magic, my mother claimed, and he would slide down the chimney while our family was asleep on Christmas Eve, leaving gifts for me to open Christmas morning. As a nicety, I was told we must leave a glass of milk and a plate of cookies sitting out for old St. Nicholas to enjoy during his stopover. Free presents, and I get to snag one of Santa's cookies? Sign me up, my young self thought. There was no mention by my parents of Jesus having any connection to this annual ritual, nor any sort of explanation as to why we celebrated Christmas. At a very young age, I recall questioning just how Santa got inside our house, as we had no chimney for him to traverse. Besides, in my estimation, he seemed a bit rotund to be squeezing his way inside anyone's chimney stack. On Christmas Eve, I also questioned why all the presents awaiting me beneath our Christmas tree said, "From Mom and Dad," as it was explained to me that Santa brought the gifts. Mysteriously, the following morning, the bulk of my presents were suddenly addressed from Santa. I knew something wasn't right here.
My ass may be dumb, but I ain't no dumbass.
My parents never satisfactorily answered my multitude of questions regarding this interesting event they called Christmas, nor my questions regarding many other facets of life. As an empathic young child,
I'm an empath.
I could read my parents, and I knew they didn't really know what they were talking about. I make this statement not as an insult, but just as a point of truth. I was born to teenaged parents who simply didn't have the answers I was seeking. Because I wasn't getting any true explanations from the adults around me, I continued my quest for truth at every possible avenue, questioning people from all different walks of life with all different types of perspectives. And with this being the pre-internet days of the 1980s, spending a great deal of time in the peaceful environs of our local public library. We're told that Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, a being who Christians believe to be the Son of God. The term Christmas comes from the Mass of Christ. Although the word Mass can have different meanings to different religious denominations, a simple explanation might be to say that Mass is a gathering of religious practitioners, or in some cases, a recognition of said belief, at times accompanied by ritual. Billions of people from a multitude of countries across the earth celebrate Christmas each year. What is curious to me is that, at least in the United States, most participate in this event of Christ's Mass without any sort of recognition to the name incorporated into the holiday itself. Now, I'm not making a judgment here. I'm not saying that we should or should not be doing so. Rather, I'm pointing at the fact that it's simply overlooked, that today Christ's Mass is not about love, kindness, or goodwill toward others, the qualities which Jesus was said to exemplify. It's about commercialism. It's about materialism. It's about ripping through that wrapping paper in the hopes that we'll find the presents that, with apologies to the Spice Girls, we really, really want.
All right, enough of the holiday yakety yak. Let's get down to the real reason we're here, wrapped merchandise.
The danger of succumbing to materialism is that we run the risk of losing ourselves in this pursuit. When we remain on the surface level only of the human experience, we lose sight of the deeper meaning available to us, and by extension, the deeper experiences. An annual family gathering could be a celebration of unity, fellowship, and unconditional love for one another, or, as most often seen today, it could simply be a time to get together once a year and give each other material objects. Have you ever seen the comedic sitcom The Big Bang Theory? I watch very little TV, but this particular television show has captured my heart. As it turns out, I have a great deal in common with one of its lead characters, Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Sheldon and I both found solace in comic books during childhood, a love affair which continued into adulthood. We both share an affinity for that delightful drink, Yoo-hoo, chocolate milk's watery cousin.
It's hard to say no to Yoo-hoo.
We're both confounded by the complex and confusing intricacies of social convention, and we both share an aversion to the act of gift-giving and its unspoken expectations of reciprocity. Coincidentally, a great deal of my own research into the origins of the Christmas holiday mirror that of Sheldon Cooper. So, I'll allow my counterpart, Dr. Cooper here, to explain to you his findings on the origins of the Christmas customs in which many of us partake today.
Hey, Sheldon, are you and Leonard putting up a Christmas tree?
No, because we don't celebrate the ancient pagan festival of Saturnalia.
Saturnalia?
In the pre-Christian era, as the winter solstice approached and the plants died, pagans brought evergreen boughs into their homes as an act of sympathetic magic intended to guard the life essences of the plants until spring. This custom was later appropriated by Northern Europeans, and eventually it becomes the so-called Christmas tree.
The deeper one looks into the origins of this holiday, which we're told is intended to celebrate the birth of Jesus, we find that Jesus was likely not even born in December. The Christmas celebration was instead moved to coincide with the date of the winter solstice. The unfortunate truth, it seems, is that this modern-day celebration in which we're participating has more to do with Saturnalia than it does with Christ. And in occult circles, Saturn and Satan are synonymous with one another, different nomenclatures for the same entity. While some may instantly dismiss such an idea without investigation, I would offer for further consideration that perhaps it is not coincidence that the name Santa is an anagram for Satan. Consider this. If Jesus exemplifies love, kindness, and goodwill toward others, would Satan not seek to remove the focus from such virtues and instead place emphasis on the surface-level qualities of the holiday via materialism? If we set aside our preconceived notions and examine things without bias, we see that the concept of Santa Claus gives us a superficial perspective of the holiday, dismissive of its deeper meaning. Now, this is not to say that material objects are inherently bad and that we shouldn't have things. Instead, it's a matter of not allowing the act of receiving gifts to cause us to lose sight of what's truly important here, of not allowing the sight of our presence to cause us to lose sight of ourselves. The unfortunate truth is we have not been told the truth about Christmas, nor about many other holidays that we celebrate in the modern world. We were taught at a young age not to question things, but instead to seek truth from authority figures. An interesting thing about the term authority is that it allows those in power to author the narratives which we follow, and for most, we follow them without question. According to Scripture, it was Christ himself who said, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Yet for some reason, so many of us fear the truth, and rather than peek behind the curtain, we choose to remain plugged into the matrix, so to speak. So it seems that our choice comes down to either fear or love. The point of this video is not to encourage or discourage you to participate in Christmas. Rather, my intent is to draw awareness to the truth, to point you in the direction of such, and to buoy and embolden awareness in all that we do. I wish you a truly happy holiday season, regardless of your take on such matters. And I very much hope that you enjoyed this video. Cheers.